Hello students, welcome back. Today I am Anuradha from Art and Progressive School. Going to start another topic of the same chapter. Chapter name is Biological Classification. So children, in this chapter we are discussing that how there are 5 kingdom classification. Okay, so one by one we have completed all 5 kingdom classification, that is starting from Monera, then Protista, then Fungi, then Plantae, then Animalia, right? So here we are talking about that some of the things which are not under any of the classification. It means that there are some organisms or some microbes, or we can say something is there which cannot be placed in any of the 5 kingdom. Okay, so we have completed up to the Fungi kingdom, and after that there is a Plantae kingdom as well as Animalia kingdom, which we will do in a detailed manner in a separate chapter. Okay, so the next chapter is what? The kingdom Animalia, kingdom Plantae, right? So here we have to complete the chapter, so we will understand that what are these things which cannot be included in any of the classification system. Then what is the reason behind it? Why there is no place? Because they comes under different characteristics. Okay, their characteristics cannot match with any of the kingdom which we have done till now. Okay, so that's why we are understanding in a separate topic. And what are these things? These are the viruses. Along with these viruses we will study viroids, prions as well as lichens, mycorrhiza, right? So like these things we are understanding here. So let's start with the first topic, that is the viruses. You must all be knowing that what are the viruses. It means that they are something which are causing the infection, right? But if I will talk about the cell of the viruses, they are what? They are non-cellular. It means that they are not having any cell. So what does it mean? That the thing which we have done earlier in all the kingdom classification, they are just like a cell. But if I will talk about these viruses, they are not a cell. That's why what we are calling them? We are calling them acellular, or we can say non-cellular. Okay, so what we can say? They are the non-cellular because it's not a type of cell. Okay, then comes to the viruses that having the structure. So if I will talk about any virus, okay, it is, what is composition? So the composition of viruses, they are made up of the nucleic acid and the protein. So what are the two things which is present in the viruses? We can say nucleic acid, okay, nucleic acid, or we can say genetic material, because we know that nucleic acid is what? Genetic material, and another one is the protein coating. Okay, two things are there in the viruses, right? Now if I will talk about the viruses, then we can say that they do not comes under living or non-living. Okay, so these are what? These are the boundary, okay, of living as well as non-living. If I will talk about the living organisms, living are what? In which all that metabolism takes place. But here in case of viruses, if they are present, so they are not having any metabolism by its own. Okay, when it is entering into any host body, so it is using the machinery of that host body, right? So till that time they are not having any metabolic activity like the living one. Okay, that's why what we can say, that they are not having its own type, right? It is not having any own capacity to do any reproduction. Okay, so it cannot reproduce by itself, which is the characteristics of what? By the living organism. But here you can see that again it is using the body of any other host body, then only it is able to reproduce itself. Okay, that much is there. Now comes to some discovery. What are the discoveries related to these viruses? Because it is given in your NCERT and it becomes very important. In examination, any question can come from this part, that who is the scientist, whose contribution is what. So here we have to understand that how they have contributed in the discovery of viruses. Okay, so the first name comes here, the Pasteur, who gave the term or who coined the term the virus. Before that, they said, some scientists said that they are something which is causing the infection, but they do not give any name here. So the first time the name given by the Pasteur here. And what is the name of this? What is the term denote? It denotes the poisonous fluid. Okay, something is that which is poisonous as well as it is the venom, right? So first thing is clear. Who has given this term? Pasteur. Now comes to the later discovery. So here, if I will start with the D.J. Aronofsky. Okay, in 1892, the first time it was observed. If I will ask question, who gave the term, then answer will be Pasteur. But the first time who has discovered, who has observed this thing, who is there? It is the D.J. Aronofsky who has observed first time this virus where in the tobacco leaf. Okay, and gave what? Afterwards, mosaic disease of tobacco. So if you will see the tobacco leaves, okay, so in this disease what happens, the leaves become the patches like structure. Okay, so in these leaves what happens, some patches like structure, and that's why he observed that something is there, something infectious is there which is causing this leaf. So what is it? So name is what? Mosaic disease of tobacco, or we can say TMV is what? Tobacco mosaic virus. It means that that virus is causing this mosaic in the leaf of tobacco. Okay, so how he observed these things, and after that what he did. Okay, so we have to understand that one also. So what he did, he took this leaf from here, okay, from the infected plant of the tobacco. Now he crushed the leaf. Okay, he crushed the leaf and he took the sap of this leaf. It means some juicy part of that leaf, of that infectious leaf, right? So after taking it, what he did, he passed on this fluid, or we can say he passed on this juice through the bacteria filter paper. Okay, through the bacteria filter paper. So when he did this thing, what he found that in this bacteria filter paper, what is the role of this bacteria filter paper? That it can if bacteria will pass through this bacteria filter paper, then it will remain in the above part. Okay, it means that it is helpful for filtering the bacterial containing compound. Okay, so he thought that if it is a bacteria, or if it is like a bacteria, what will happen? The fluid or the filtrate which we will get here in this lower part, it will be free from this infectious agent. Okay, whatever, if it is bacteria or something else. Then what he did, he took this fluid and he passed on, or he provided this to the healthy plant. Okay, so later on he found that again these leaves become the patchy. It means that still something is present in this fluid which is causing infection to the healthy plants also. Okay, so and he observed that yes, it's not a bacteria, and something which is very, very smaller than the bacteria. Okay, from here he concluded that thing. So that much work done by the Bigelow, right? Then comes to the another scientist, Stanley. Stanley is what, or we can say Bigelow, the role of this all thing done by starting by the Aronofsky, the same thing, the same procedure covered by the Bigelow in 1898. Okay, but the thing which we have to understand is that fluid name given by what? Bigelow, and he said that it is what? It is nothing, Contagium virium fluidum. It means that this is the infectious liquid fluid which is having the tendency to infect the healthy plants also. Otherwise, the same work will be done by this scientist also. Okay, only if an examination question asks that who gave this term Contagium virium fluidum, so your answer will be what? It will be Bigelow, and it comes during the examination. Okay, then comes to the Stanley. Now till now they have performed this experiment. So what Stanley did, again his contribution is very, very important. In 1935 he did some experiment and he observed and he concluded that there is the possibility for the crystallization of virus. So crystallization of virus done by whom? By the Stanley. So what he did, he took the virus and he was able to crystallize, and we know that the living things cannot be crystallized. Okay, only non-living can be crystallized. So here, from here you can say that yes, virus is non-living before that time when it is entering to the host body, right? And after entering the host body, it will become the living one. So crystallization of virus done by whom? By the Stanley. These much questions are very, very important, star questions. Okay. Now comes to the structure of the virus. If I will talk about the structure, you must have seen this type of structure most of the time, right? So what is the structure? How we will understand it? Two things are there in the structure of viruses. First thing is what? Genetic material. It means that how it is reproduced, how it is making its copy. Okay, so what is the genetic material here? So if we can say, it can be DNA or it can be RNA. Okay, so genetic material of any virus is what? It can be DNA or it can be RNA, but it cannot be both at the same time, right? So what will happen? But not both at the same time. Comes to the second thing, the protein code. Okay, what I said, the first thing is what? Nucleic acid, which can be DNA or RNA. Second thing is what? It can be the protein. Protein is what? The virus is the genetic material which is present here. Okay, the genetic material which is present here, it is protected by some membrane. Okay, by some coating. So what you will call this coating? You will call it the capsid. So protein capsid is what? It is a protein coating which is present in the viruses. Okay, so these can be present in different type of viruses also. Okay, so these things are what? These are the structure. Now comes to the point that these viruses, on the basis of this capsid, okay, it can be of different type. You can see it here. It can be what? It can be of helical type. In this structure, what you can see? These are the helical form, right? And these helical form are what? These are the RNA helix. It means the genetic material is what? It is somehow helical form. Now this one, this structure, what you can see? It is in form of what? Polyhedral or the this polygonal type. Right, so whether this is the structure or this is the structure, or sometimes you can see this type of structure also. Okay, so everywhere you can see there is a protein covering. Okay, and these protein covering or the capsid, it is made up of some units, right? It varies from viruses to viruses, but each and every capsid, it is made up of so many subunits. And what you will call it, these subunits? You will call it capsomeres. So capsomeres are what? Capsomeres are the subunits by which there will be formation of whole capsid here. Right, so what we can say, these are the capsomeres. If you will see the structure of TMV, okay, this is the structure of what? Structure of tobacco mosaic virus, in which they are having this genetic material, and this part is what? These are the capsomeres. So each unit, what we are calling it? Capsomere. But when we talk about the whole structure, what you can say? It is a capsid, and it can be the 2130 capsomeres in the TMV. Okay. Now comes to this structure which is present here. You can see that again genetic material is present. Genetic material is covered by what? By the capsid. Okay. Along with this, they are having some envelope also. So these are the different types of viruses. Among them, one of the viruses is what? Bacteriophage. This virus is what? These are the specific virus which is going to attack only and only in bacteria, right? Bacteriophage, name itself indicates that it is going to attack the bacteria. It will engulf the bacteria. So here, if you will see the structure of this bacteriophage, it is having the head portion, okay, and this part is what? Collar region, and below to the collar region, just like our body, okay, just below to the collar there is a neck region, and here you can see the core, okay, and surrounding its sheath is there, and combinedly what we are calling it? Tail. And here these are the tail fibers. So this diagram again very important, right? So what are these things? Capsid are what? This is the protein covering which is covering all the genetic material, and make sure that this genetic material can be different in different types of viruses. Okay, so many diseases are there which caused by the virus. Okay, in that condition genetic material is different. So here I have given some of the examples. What are they? They can be, if I will talk about the HIV, okay, as we all know about the HIV, AIDS. So what is the genetic material present here? It is the single stranded RNA. So in very short, we can say this genetic material which we are talking about, this nucleic acid, it can be DNA or it can be RNA. In DNA also it can be two types. What are they? It can be single stranded, it can be double stranded. In RNA also it can be single stranded RNA or it can be double stranded RNA. So everything is possible here, but it is different in different types of viruses and they are causing different disease. So here HIV can be of single stranded RNA, and hepatitis B, it can be of double stranded DNA, right? Likewise TMV is single stranded RNA, okay, and here one thing you have to understand, it is not universal, but yes, generally what happens that in case of plant virus, okay, the viruses which is going to attack the plant only, they are mostly what type of genetic material? It can be of single stranded RNA. Okay, what is going to happen, that most of the plant viruses, they are having the single stranded RNA, right? But same how if I will talk about the animal viruses, okay, the viruses which are going to attack animals or the plants, it can be of double stranded DNA. What you will call it? It's a double stranded DNA, right? And I'm writing here, and likewise the bacteria which is causing the bacteria, okay, the viruses which are causing the bacteria, that is the bacteriophage, it can be what? It can be the double stranded DNA, okay, or double stranded RNA. So likewise you can see that double stranded DNA is present in this bacteriophage. Okay, so you must be knowing that mostly what is happening in case of plant viruses as well as the animal viruses, right? So likewise we will study some more organism or some more examples which I have to understand after the classification system. So the second example is what? Viroids. They are just like the viruses, but the only difference is that in case of viroids, here if you recall the virus, what is the composition? Capsid, it means protein plus the genetic material, right? It can say the nucleoprotein, but if I will talk about the viroid, it means that there is a lackness of something, okay? So if I will say like this, they are having two things in viruses, nucleic acid, okay, and another one is the protein. But in case of viroids, you can see that only nucleic acid is present, but this capsid is absent. This is the difference between viruses and the viroids. Second thing, you can imagine that if there will be two things, the molecular weight will be more. If there will be lack of this thing, of this protein, what will happen? The molecular weight of the viroids will be lesser than the viruses. Okay, so what we have done, that these are having less molecular weight as compared to the viruses, so they are less infectious than the viruses. Okay, but yes, these are also the disease causing organisms. So what we can say about the viroids, that first time it was discovered by the Theodore Otto Diener, okay, or the T.O. Diener in 1971. Again, important question about the viroids. Okay, the first time it was discovered by scientists. So how he found? He found that there will be some changes in the tuber of potato. Generally, what we see, that potato tuber is like this, okay, but in this condition, this is a somehow oval shaped or rounded shape. You must have seen this structure of potato, but in this particular disease, the potato tuber will get distorted. And how it will distort? It will form such type of structure. It means that it will become spindle in shape. Okay, spindle you can draw like this also, spindle in shape, and they will be distorted. And from there he concluded that what is the causing thing here? It is nothing. These are the viroids, and due to this viroids, what is happening? That the potato tuber will get misshapen, and here the disease name is what? Potato spindle tuber viroid. Starting, they said that it is a PSTD, potato spindle tuber disease. Later on he gave the name potato spindle tuber viroid disease, when he found that yes, viroid is there to infect these potato. Okay, again they are the non-cellular, just like the viruses. Okay, they are also not having any cell. Now comes to the genetic material, because we said that yes, genetic material is present in case of the viroids. So what type of genetic material you can see it here? It will be the circular single stranded RNA. So this question may be asked that what is going to happen? There you can see that such type of structure in case of what? In case of this formation, circular structure having the single stranded RNA, and due to this what is happening? There will be the change in shape of the tuber. Right, so no protein coat is there, you can write by on. Then comes to the another one, that is known as the prions. Prions are what? Just like the viruses. Now the condition is that in viroids, what you have done, that nucleic acid is present, protein is absent, but in case of prions, protein is present. Now condition will be just reverse. protein is present but this genetic material is absent. Okay, so what we have done, P for prions and P for protein. It means that these proteins are present only in the prions, okay, not in the viroids, right? Now you can see that again who was discovered first time, Stanley B. Prusiner, right? And what he found that there are some proteins, okay, which can get misshaped, and every time protein is going to decide for the character. But yes, if the protein will get distorted or misshapen, what will happen? It will not give the desired protein or desired character. So what is the role here? The protein will get infected and these proteins, okay, these proteins will get misshapen. If it should be like this and it will become like this, okay. So what we can say, the protein which is present inside this prions, it will get infected and it will get misfolded, and due to this what it is causing? It is causing the disease in case of the human also, in case of the plant also, right? So mostly what is happening, that here you can see that these prions, they are mostly causing disease in which one? In the animals, right? And what is happening? It contains only and only proteins, not the genetic material, okay. So you can imagine that only that much is protein is responsible for causing any disease. So what can be the example here? The scrappy disease, okay. Scrappy disease in the sheep and goat, he found that always they are going to scrap in their body, okay. Then they found that what is that thing which is causing this infection here. Then comes to the bovine spongiform encephalopathy, BSE, and another name is what? Mad cow disease in cattle. So all these diseases are what? They are causing the nervous system of the animal. So what we can say? That they are disturbing the nervous system. So here in this disease what happened? The cow will become mad, right? And likewise another disease in case of human also, same like the BSE, but it is happening in case of humans, C.R.Jacob disease, and we are saying CJD disease, okay. Again there will be some problem in the brain or related to the nervous system, and the person will become somehow mad like, okay. So here we can say that all these diseases, they are causing disease in the human beings. If I will talk about the viroids, okay, in case of viroids, some plant diseases are also there, like this is potato spindle disease in case of coconut, okay. In case of coconut kedeng disease is there. Likewise again hepatitis D, mostly we are saying plant, but yes, hepatitis D is also caused by the viroids. Why? Because once they are having hepatitis B, so there is a more chances to have the hepatitis D also, just due to what? Due to the viroids, okay. So we can imagine that how much they are causing, but lesser than the virus, but yes, they are also having its influence very much, okay. Now comes to the another important information, that is the lichens and the mycorrhiza. We must have done this thing earlier also. So lichens and mycorrhiza also, they don't get any place in any 5 kingdom classification, because lichens are what? These are the symbiotic association between the algae and the fungi, okay. And so that's why there is no particular characteristic. So Whitaker was not able to categorize in a fixed or any particular kingdom. So why? Because algae is different thing and fungi is different thing, and by the symbiotic association we are getting the lichens. So lichens are what? Algae plus fungi, okay. And the algae is responsible for what? Because it is the autotrophic mode of nutrition, while in case of fungi they are heterotrophic mode of nutrition, okay. So algae, it is preparing its food, and fungi, it is what it is doing? Algae making its food to giving fungi, and fungi is also taking nutrition from the algae and providing shelter to the algae. So likewise they are benefiting to each other, right? So there may be a question, what is that part what you will call algae? There are two terms, phycobiont and the mycobiont, okay. Whenever we are using the word fungi, we will use the word myco, make sure, okay. And whenever we are talking about the algae, we will talk with the phyco, okay. Two terms are related to algae and the fungi. So the algal part of the lichens, what you will call it? Phycobiont, okay. Same thing here in the fungi, mycobiont. So the algal part of the lichens, what you will call it? Phycobiont, and the fungal part of the lichens, you will call it mycobiont. Same like you can talk about the study also. The study of the fungi, what it is mycology. These are the additional questions. What is it? Mycology. Likewise, study of the algae, phycology. Okay, so this much is there in this lichens, and another one is what? It can be the mycorrhiza. This one also we have done, mycorrhiza. What is it? Again, it is a symbiotic association, but with what? Fungi with the roots of the higher plants, and with the help of this thing they can penetrate its root into the soil and it can take more and more nutrients. Okay, so here we have completed these things here. Some more important information about the viruses which we have done right now, that it can be of DNA type or it can be of RNA, genetic material. Okay, in DNA, when we are having single stranded DNA, examples are what? 5174 herpes chickenpox. All these are having single stranded DNA. If I will talk about the hepatitis, it is having the double stranded DNA. If I will talk about single stranded RNA, HIV, TMV, measles, mumps, rabies, even corona. Okay, all these comes under such type of genetic material. And what is double stranded RNA? Rhinovirus. Okay, and here this rhinovirus is responsible for what? For the cold and cough. Okay, so here these are the examples which are very important for the examination, right? So after this, kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia is there. We will study in a detailed manner. Okay, so one more important thing, when we talk about a study of all like algae, fungi, you can add one more information. Study of this virus is virology. Okay, what is it? Virology, when we are talking about the viruses. So I think everything we have completed. That's all for today. Thank you.